Good evening, everybody. We have the Play Live 600 Sunday, joined by myself, Jackson Young, doing about half an hour in commentary booth before I have to jet off, and then hopefully I can come back a little bit later to drive you home. We do have 110 runners for the 600 Sunday tonight, and as we can see on the top right, about 42 runners left, so pretty deep into it. Not in the money yet, obviously, but getting towards that point of the tournament where we are starting to potentially look to build a bit of a stack to try get into the money and then proceed to a final table. So good to see a few good friends of mine on the feature table. Jordan Battis obviously won one of the Play Live events not too long ago for about, I think it was $50,000, something in that ballpark, and Ash Owens as well. A couple other guys that I've played there a few times, but pretty excited to see how this one pans out. So the first hand we do have Theo opening it up with the King 2 offsuit, which is obviously a little bit loose, but everyone that's watching probably knows Theo and knows that he likes to play a lot of hands, as he does flop the top pair against Geordie from the big blind, defending with the Jack 10 offsuit. See how Theo proceeds with this one. I'm going to think a medium to small bet here, but Theo might just go large based off his image. And he does get a snap fold from Geordie, so takes that one down. We can see the chip counts here, guys. So Benjamin, our table chip leader, with 64 bigs. Scott Wilson, 49 bigs. And Theo with 45 bigs, our top three. And registration just closed, so that's why there were a couple of shorties that just jumped in. It's like Dylan and Elvis and Jordan having about, well, sub 10 big blinds now. So hopefully we can see a couple of all-ins and some sweats, and hopefully a couple of the boys can get a couple of doubles and keep their tournament life alive. As I mentioned, guys, I am in here for about 30 minutes, so I'm going to do what I can to give you guys some insight into some hands and a little bit of knowledge. I'm definitely not the best, but I do think that I can give a little bit of good advice. So if anyone is interested in asking some questions in the chat, whether it's poker related, this tournament related, or anything else, happy to discuss. As I mentioned, I'm here by myself, so if anyone wants to create a bit of a conversation with me, feel free. Otherwise, I'm sort of just talking to myself, which is fine. As we see Theo open up another offsuit King X hand, so here's the cutoff now, and Scott with the Ace 10 offsuit proceeds with the call. This is quite fine. I do think if it was a bit earlier position, Theo, he may want to 3-bet this hand as a bluff, but knowing that Theo is quite wide, probably just realizes that he dominates a couple of hands, so he does want to just call here. And Geordie actually does whack in the Ace 8 offsuit for, looks like 7 big blinds. Ash has a pretty easy fold here. Theo's going to get out of the way, I would assume, and Scott's going to make a pretty easy call. So we can see $48,500 in the prize pool, which is quite nice for a $600 buy-in, which is obviously weekly. And yeah, a couple of comments already. Sunday session in progress. Definitely very keen to see this one. So surprisingly, Theo does call with the King 5 offsuit. This is obviously pretty loose, and this is why Theo is hard to play against, because you never know what he really has, and in a lot of spots where you think you might be able to range your opponent quite comfortably, you cannot. So Theo just so Theo's bet 10 big blinds into a dry side pot. So for those who don't know what a dry side pot is, basically means that if you're bluffing, you can't win the pot because, you know, there's no more money in there. It's a dry side pot. So this is a very peculiar play, and I definitely don't recommend it. Obviously, he did get the best hand to fold, which is, you know, something, but it will work out in Jordan's favor, as he does secure the double up. So he did max late reg his tournament and has now got himself 24 big blinds, which is sitting literally in the middle of the pack. So well done to him. Hopefully he can can pile this up into a nice stack and try to get in the money. And as Meng says in the YouTube chat, triple up the short stack. That is correct. So, yeah, Theo did play that one a little bit loosey-goosey, and it has cost him a little dent in his stack. Obviously not too much. He still has 38 big blinds, but do want to, obviously, when you have a big stack, you do want to do what you can to sort of keep that big stack for as long as possible and not give away, you know, 5 big blinds here, 10 big blinds there, because then you can just be a short stack and then your tournament life is in jeopardy. So Theo, somehow with the worst hand, got Scott to fold. Obviously, Scott didn't really have a lot. He also did bet 10 big blinds into a pot of about 20 big blinds, which doesn't sound like a huge bet, being only half pot, but when it's a dry side pot, it's actually a huge bet. As we see Elvis limp in here with the 7-4 of diamonds. This should be a pretty fun table, guys, for everyone. Even though I'm going to be gone quite soon, I do recommend sticking around because this is going to be a fun table. There's Elvis, I think, is pretty well known for playing 100% of hands quite often. Theo is known for splashing around a lot as well. And then there's a couple of really solid players on this table as well. So it should make for a fun dynamic. As Jordan has the ace-2 suited, I think over limping here is quite fine. There's not a huge incentive to raise. Elvis can have some better ace-X as a limp from under the gun. He can also occasionally have some traps. He does have 6 big blinds, so this is a very interesting spot. I'm not exactly sure. You know, he's obviously just hoping to hit and put it in, I guess, like that. But when you've got 7 or 6 big blinds, you do kind of want to try just go all in and have some fold equity, and it probably would have gotten through, to be honest. As we do see Jordan flop a flush draw and Elvis flop bottom pair. So I'm gonna assume, okay, so Ben's leading out here, which is quite interesting. Obviously has nothing. I think this is going to be, yeah, I was gonna say I think Ben checks a lot here and Elvis is just going to stick it in. Geordie has a pretty easy call now. Obviously doesn't need to raise immediately just because he does, you know, lose to Queen X. He's still behind pairs and, you know, even better Ace X and stuff like that. So I think Ben's going to probably want to give this one up now, getting called in 2 different spots. Elvis has just snap ripped this one, which is quite fine for 4.2 big blinds. Geordie's got a pretty easy fold with his flush draw, and Ben lets go his 9 high. So interesting hand, worked out, and Elvis with the full house takes this one down. So no real clear shorties anymore. Obviously, you know, it is nice to have 20 to 25 bigs or more, but you know, the max late reg spot was, I believe, 10 bigs or something like that. So none of these guys are in that immediate danger now, but we are only on hand 4, so it is still early in the night, so we'll see what happens. Once again, guys, any comments about anything poker related or anything, I am in this booth alone, so feel free to chat with me, and we can get a little bit of a conversation going while these guys play their hands. We're back, guys. All good. Apologies. Had to quickly run off somewhere, but we are back. As we see Theo open up the Queen 9 offsuit. Once again, a very speculative hand, but something that we know Theo does. And he does get Jordan to fold the pocket fours. Elvis from the small blind with an offsuit hand. So we're seeing a lot of loose poker here, and I don't know if this is something that's highly recommended, but obviously these guys on a Sunday are just here to splash around and have a bit of fun. Obviously we're playing for $16,600, so there is quite a bit of money up top. So we'll see who's going to be the one to take it down as Michael does defend the big blind with Queen 10 of hearts and does flop middle pair. So this is actually quite an interesting hand. So Elvis has flopped top pair from the small blind. Michael's flopped middle pair from the big blind. And Theo's flopped an open ender. So this one could go many different ways. I imagine it's going to get checked to Theo, who's going to put out a continuation bet. And I don't think Elvis is going anywhere. When Elvis calls, it's potential that Michael also wants to come along. Although this hand is kind of not loving life, I would say, when there's a bet and a call in front of you. But there are some draws out there, including a flush draw. So your 10 definitely still can be ahead, but you are sandwiched in the middle of two guys, which isn't great as the 2 rolls off on the turn. And now the 7 of spades on the river. So backdoor flush completes. I see no need for Michael to turn his hand into a bluff. And I'd assume Theo is gonna... Okay, so this is an interesting one. So Michael's potentially decided that he thinks his 10's no good and wants to get a jack to fold. However, I just think if you want to get a jack to fold, you're probably wanting to go a little bit bigger, unless he's betting for value. But I think it's a little bit thin, to be honest, 3 ways when the flush gets there as well. I probably would have preferred him to check, and then if Theo bets, call it off, because Theo obviously can have some bluffs, but when you bet yourself, you're eliminating a lot of those bluffs. So yeah, Taylor in the YouTube chat, congrats Frenchie for winning 31k at Crown the other night in the mystery bounty. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but Benjamin, yep, I'm assuming, yep, 31k. Wow, I'm jealous. I saw the video of the guy winning the 90k mystery bounty, and I was just so jealous. I didn't actually get to play it as well, which is quite a shame, but it's pretty crazy. You can just sort of like get lucky with an all in and then pull a card and make like 90k or something, or 30k. It's pretty absurd. So mystery bounties are quite fun, and we're seeing Theo open up another hand. He does just come with limp for this one, and actually in a pretty interesting spot with the king 7 suited. I'd be quite sure that Ash is very familiar with Theo and treats his limp as pretty weak. As we see Ben flick in the 4-2 of hearts from the cutoff. So these guys are definitely just here to gamble a little bit. We're seeing no premium hands. Obviously, we're going to go 4 ways to a flop, and there's not a single card over a 10. So Michael flopping the best hand here with middle pair. Theo flopping a gut shot. For Theo, I think, I think if you want to play a hand like 9-8 offsuit, which is obviously quite speculative, I think you're going to want to start bluffing the flop, just because, you actually can have some nutted hands occasionally if you ever look to trap those hands. But he does end up drilling the turn, and this is actually quite an interesting hand. So Michael's going to lead out with 3rd pair with a gut shot. I'm not sure if I love this. A lot of your opponents can have 10x as well now, so you're kind of just turning a hand that has some nice properties into a bluff, and if Theo raises, you kind of have to fold. And I think Theo will raise. Let's see what he comes with. He does like to call, which will bring in Benjamin for sure. Now, does Ben want to come with call or raise? I think probably call is fine, which he does. And Theo's going to need to dodge a heart on the river. And the heart does come in. So it does pair the board, so it's not like it's going to be a lot of fireworks here, but I'd going to assume that Michael's going to... Okay. So Michael does turn his hand into a bluff. The issue with this bluff is you've got 3 opponents and the flushes come in. So someone's potentially got a flush, someone's potentially got a jack, someone's potentially got a straight. If they've got a 10, they might not fold. So I think this is a little bit too loose from Michael. And I think, yeah, he could have played this hand a little bit differently. But Theo does snap call, and that brings in Benjamin from behind. Now, if Benjamin got a different heart on the river, the one that didn't pair the board, I think this would probably be wanting to raise, even with the 4 high flush. But it does come the jack of hearts, and he does take a huge pot and does knock out. So he's up to 80 big blinds, which is almost 80 big blinds, which is absolutely massive. And he's going to be quite thrilled with how that one played out. So he did play a very, very speculative hand pre-flop, calling 4-2 of hearts from the cutoff. But it did work in his favour there, so well done to him. 6nop in the Twitch comments. Who's the commentator? My name's Jackson Young. I'm not sure if you caught the opening of the live stream, but I'm only doing this for half an hour. I got to run for a little bit, and then hopefully I'll be back not too long after. But as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of action on this table. There's a few fun players here that are going to drive the action all night, so should be fun. I think someone's going to jump in after me as well, so maybe we'll be a duo once I come back, which will be quite fun. As Benjamin folds the Queen Jack of clubs, so I'm quite unsure what Benjamin's doing. Maybe the cards are off potentially, but he called 4-2 of hearts before, and now has apparently folded Queen Jack of clubs. So not sure exactly what was happening there. Maybe he was too busy stacking up his chips and misread his hand or something like that. But yeah. So Elvis has limped in with the A7 offsuit from the cutoff. Theo has raised the big blind with 9-2 offsuit. And these two are very, very loose, aggressive players, and it wouldn't shock me to see a lot of action on this hand. They both have gut shots now. Elvis actually has an open ender as well, so Theo is going to double barrel by the looks of it. And he does come with 32k, good for about 5.5 big blinds. I think Elvis here with his stack is probably going to have to call. You know, you are ahead of some bluffs, like some worse 7x, like some, King 7, Queen 7, stuff like that. You're ahead of some 9x stuff. Obviously, when Elvis, gets 3-bet or raised from the big blind from Theo, it's a bit of a dicey spot. However, he probably knows Theo is quite loose, so it's not necessarily like a range that's as strong as most big blind raises. So I do think that Elvis will continue here. And let's see if he comes with a call, or let's see if he comes with raise. And I think if he raises, he has to go all in. Otherwise, it sort of defeats the purpose, I think. And he does just come with call, and he does brick out his draw, but as we can see, he is good. So Theo's going to need to work out is a man like Elvis going to fold a hand like an 8, potentially a 10, when the board pairs and there's a river. So nicely well played hand from Theo. He does get the fold there, and yeah, obviously quite a speculative hand but does end up with the result that he wanted, and now he's building a bit of a nicer stack than what he had. So back up to 37 big blinds there, which is kind of where he started. And Elvis is down to 16 big blinds. So yeah, well played from him. Dean, g'day mate. How you doing? Hopefully having fun, mate. Hope the week's been good. Hopefully you're enjoying all the poker in Melbourne at the moment. There's a couple of players that are yet to play a hand. I don't think Ash has really played a hand yet. Obviously, we've got two guys pretty much playing any 2 cards and pretty much every hand so far. Haven't really seen Scott play a hand yet. He did have the ace-10 offsuit before, but it was an all-in from Jordan and did just check fold the flop. So we are getting a couple new players onto the table now as the field does thin out a little bit. As we see Winston join the table, obviously one of PlayLive's favourites. Shout out to Martinelli in the millions. Yes, I'm actually going to commentate that quite soon, and I don't know the updates yet, but I believe from what I've been told, he was chip leading at least at some point on the on the final table. So hopefully he can hopefully he can continue. And as Ben has put in the comment section, Theo started the limping party. So yeah, Ben's probably just wanting to play a couple more hands against Theo, knowing that he's loose and in position, and obviously worked out in his favour having a ginormous stack and easily the biggest stack in the tournament for sure. Comment from the YouTube chat, goes to Macca. How'd you go in the opening event, Jackson? Unfortunately, no good. It is the only event I've played. I haven't played the 5K or anything like that. Obviously going to be playing the main, but yeah, fired 4 bullets in the opening. Unfortunately, didn't even make day 2, which was pretty frustrating for me, to be completely honest with you. So it is what it is. Sometimes it doesn't go your way and your bluffs don't work, and it is very frustrating in a massive tournament like that. But it happens to everybody, so can't complain too much, as we do see Scott with a nicely played hand isolating the ace-jack offsuit against an open and a call. So it's quite a nice hand, and he solidified himself as second table chip leader. So yeah, you are right, Meng. There's actually, the guy is from Perth from what I've heard, but there's a lot of Perth guys down. Obviously there is a crown room in Perth. Not sure how popular that is. I haven't been to Perth in a long time, but
Ricky's got 228.
yeah, there's a lot of guys from Perth coming down, and from what I've heard, there's a big home game scene in Perth, and everyone seems to enjoy it over there. One of my good friends from poker, I don't see him too much, but he's very, very nice to me when I see him, is Travis, and he's obviously from Perth. I think a lot of the Perth guys would know him, doing a lot of Twitch and travelling the circuit quite a bit. Lord Agar, I'm assuming you're asking me that question. What do you do for work? I'm actually a mortgage broker. I just started a mortgage broking business recently, but before that I was running nightclubs and festivals and events and stuff like that. Sort of always just played poker on the side. Haven't ever really done it full time, although I'm contemplating it. More so probably cash games versus tournaments, just because, you know, I do obviously love tournaments, and I actually do think I enjoy tournaments a bit more. But I think there's just a lot of variance in tournaments, and to play poker full time, doing only tournaments, you can genuinely have, you know, 1, 2, 4 year downswings, and yeah, it's when you're 29 like I am, and yeah, it's pretty tough. If you were like 21, then maybe it's worth it, because, you know, you're still working another job, or you don't pay rent and stuff like that, or a mortgage, it might be, you know, feasible. But yeah, at the stage of my life, it's not possible, as we do see Ben 3-bet the pocket eights from under the gun +2 versus Ashes Open. I kind of like flatting here. It did work out in his favour, but yeah, you have a lot of the table behind as well, and there's, yeah, he kind of has to call off a jam, which isn't the worst thing in the world, off 16 big blinds from Ash. So yeah, I think 3-bet's fine, call's fine. I think at this stage in the tournament, you can probably 3-bet a little bit more if we're getting a bit deeper. Depending on stack sizes, obviously. If we're getting a little bit deeper, then we can maybe start flatting there a little bit more. As we do see Ricky lay down the 10-9 suited, which is a crazy tight fold. I love that hand. That's one of my favourite hands in poker. So he's probably just identified that under the gun he wants to be a little bit tighter than usual, which is fine. Obviously, it's a very hard position to play, and he would have probably got 3-bet. As we see Theo come with a raise with the ace-queen offsuit. Geordie in the small blind, king 7 offsuit going to go straight in the bin, and Ash is going to defend the queen 9 offsuit. I would... Oh, okay. Did I miss something? Did Theo raise massive or something like that? Because that should be a pretty clear defend to a min raise. But maybe Theo made it like 3x or 3.5x or something like that, and I missed it. So Ash is quite a solid player, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Zeppa, 4x raise. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Apologies. It's been... I was doing the commentary last night to 2:30 in the morning, so didn't get a ton of sleep. So, yeah, my bad on that one. But yeah, to a 4x raise, obviously, queen 9 offsuit is going to go straight in the bin. Good to see you, Zappa. How you doing, mate?
Are you playing any of the serious stuff at the moment, or are you just sort of chilling out?
C4 fold.
Yeah, this is a hand I would be shocked if Elvis folded, to be honest.
C5.
Even though he only has 14 big blinds, I think this is a hand he definitely likes to play, and he does come with a limp, which is good. I mean, definitely not what's the word? Standard. Definitely not standard, but a lot of this table hasn't been standard. So Elvis limps in from +1 with a 6-4 suited, which is definitely very loose. Theo also limps with the King 4 offsuit from the hijack, which is extremely loose. Scott with the Ace-3 of clubs from the cutoff. This is a spot where we can over limp or we can just find a flat. Does identify that Theo's got quite a big stack, but I think in this spot you can go either way, and it really depends on what you think. Do you really think these guys have a limping strat that are trapping strong hands or not?
You got 30 additional seconds.
Oh, there are some time banks now. Awesome. I'm good to see some time banks implemented into these tournaments. That's awesome. So Jordan with the A7 offsuit. This is a really weird spot. So this is never a spot where if it went raise, call, you would jam. But he's maybe thinking that because everyone's limped, everyone's really, really weak here. And I don't hate that thought process. Obviously, we can see the cards, so we know that everyone's a bit looser. So Geordie actually comes with call, which I think is maybe the worst option. Maybe fold is slightly worse. I don't think jamming is terrible. I think there's now 3 big blinds in the pot as additional with the big blind ante, and the small blind. So you're getting a really good price there to just jam. I know it feels loose and there's 3 players, but people have limped, so no one really says they have a strong hand, but maybe I'm being a little bit results-based. As we do see Ash Ovens come along with the 9-8 of diamonds from the small blind, and Ricky check his option with the 5-3 offsuit, as Jordan has absolutely flopped the world. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one. He's obviously in position here, so he's going to be shattered when it checks to him. And this is probably a spot that you want to check back and just hope someone catches up. Now, Ash has a gut shot. Not that that's super relevant. Ricky's picked up a pair, which isn't super relevant. Elvis has picked up a open ender, which is something. Scott has picked up a nut flush draw as well. So this is actually a really good card. And this is a card that Jordan's going to be quite happy that rolled off, because there are some players that might want to start betting now. I wouldn't blame Scott for betting this, although I think check's probably better. I don't fault him for betting, because if we get raised with this hand, it's quite a disaster. Sorry, give me 1 sec. So Zeppa, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. A lot of COD. Yeah, man. I just quickly, while I'm gonna wait for Geordie to tank, I'm assuming he does. I love the old school CODs, man, like MW2, MW3, Black Ops 1 and stuff. It comes up in all my reels and news feeds and stuff, man. So if you ever like host old school lobbies or whatever, or even if you play the new one, I'd be keen to play it with you, man. Just message me on Facebook and we'll get a session in soon. I haven't played COD in a long time, but you know, I literally played it 12 hours a day for like 5 years, and I was, you know, in all the leaderboards and shit for quick scoping and stuff. But that's a rant for another day. I'll get to your question in a second, 6-knop. So Geordie comes with call, which is obviously really good. I think Ash is definitely going to want to fold this. He either wants to fold or jam, and I think I'm folding. The thing with his hand is, maybe he can call. The thing with his hand is, if someone's got a boat, obviously you're dead, but you don't expect someone to have a boat. Yeah, this is a really weird one. He does make a really disciplined fold, which I like. He has obviously gut shot and a flush draw, but on a paired board and we're 6-handed, he probably can let this one go, which he does, and I actually think that's a really nicely disciplined fold. So yeah, Jordan Barris is licking his lips right now as the 2 of diamonds rolls off, and the only way Scott could have won that hand is if there was an ace on the river. Or an ace on the river, so I'm not even then. Pretty much drawing dead, so yeah, Jordan's going to be looking at the different stack sizes now and just trying to understand what size you can bet to get this all in. Obviously, only having 14 big blinds, he's trying to work out,
10 seconds.
can I jam here? The backdoor flush does come in, so this is where
Seat 1 bet.
Ash river to flush and would have been really upset with the result. So I think on a non-diamond river, I'm not all in. So let's say the river was a spade or a heart, I'm not going all in. I'm betting like 1/3 or something like that, just because we block so much value. Our opponent shouldn't have a 7. They shouldn't have an ace, really. They have a little bit of ace X, but like almost no 7x. The 7x probably would have played a little bit differently as well. So we pretty much block all the value. But when the diamond or the club comes in, now someone can have a flush, and
Seat 9.
he does get paid off by Scott, which I think is a little bit light, if you want me to be completely honest with you. I think, you know, obviously, once again, we can see the card, so it makes it a little bit easier, but he has backdoor clubs himself, Scott, so now we're blocking backdoor clubs, especially having that ace of clubs is a terrible card to have for us to call off, because now we block his nut flush backdoors
Alright, so blinds have gone
as well, so
now
yeah, that's a hand that he's not going to be too thrilled with the result of that one, and he's now down to 30 big blinds. Still very healthy, but Jordan maxed out regged and now has almost 50 big blinds, so he's going to be wrapped with that, and he's put himself in a really nice position as he's just chomming down that beef and rice,
Is that?
part of the hospitality package here at PlayLive. So
So we're losing.
yeah, 6-0. What's the worst hand you jam in Geordie's position? 20 big blinds. I feel like king jack or king queen. Yeah, so you make a good point. So look, if it was me personally, and I've played with these guys a bunch, and I know that Elvis and Theo are limping just, you know, nonsense and some very, very average hands,
Buns in.
I'm probably jamming quite wide. Like, I definitely think king jack suited, king queen offsuit as well. And then some ace X just blocking the opponent's best hands and stuff like that. I mean, if I had ace 10 offsuit, I'm definitely jamming and stuff like that. Like, when we jam, we get it through a bunch of the time, and we take home an extra 5.5 big blinds, which is obviously a lot. I'm also jamming some pairs like, you know, pocket 7s, pocket 8s and stuff like that, as we see Winston virtual all in here with the pocket 5s.
81,000. Seat 7 fold. Seat 8.
And we'll see if he can find a customer. To be honest, he probably doesn't want a customer with the pocket 5s. If he gets called, he's probably not in great shape, as Asher's going to have to fold the queen jack offsuit. Obviously, in the big blind's concerning because he'll call quite wide, and usually that means 2 overs. And he has only got 5 big blinds, so this one's going to have to go in the middle. He does end up folding, so for someone who plays so loose and aggressive, I'm very, very shocked that he folded the queen 10 offsuit. So the blinds have just gone up now. That's why we've seen the chip stacks shrink, and now Jordan's got the clear chip lead in this tournament on this feature table with 34 big blinds. Hey Archie, thanks for the comment, mate. If there's anything you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know. But appreciate the insults. Always fun.
Seat 7 fold. Seat 8 fold.
I agree with you, 6-0. I think if Jordan
Seat 1 fold.
should have been out of the tournament in that hand that he had the ace 10 offsuit. So yeah, quite peculiar there that he got that one through, and now he's chip leading. So it's quite bizarre, but it worked out in his favour as Ash finds ace 2 offsuit and unfortunately runs into Ricky's jacks. This is never going to be a fold, and he's probably just working out if he's just going to call this one, set the trap. Hopefully one of the other blinds shoves,
Seat 3 raise.
but he does elect to jam himself.
Seat 5 fold.
And Winston wakes up with ace king suited, so yep, never folding this one. It's going straight in the middle, and we're going to see a 3-way all in. So unfortunately for Ash, he's found a spot off 9 big blinds and has walked into 2 monsters. So we're going to see who wins this one. Ricky's going to take this pot half the time. And if he can win this one, he's going to knock out 2 players. Top time comes down king high, and we do see Winston out flop the pocket jacks, and he's a 94% favourite to win this hand. And Ricky can't find it, so Ash is going to be eliminated in 30th, and Ricky is going to take a bit of a hit to his stack, unfortunately for him. So Winston now with a chip lead on the table, and him and Jordan are going to be battling it out quite a little bit. So appreciate the comment in the Facebook chat, Grace. Very nice of you. I've dealt with a few of these comments before. It's all good. I have thick skin. I don't get offended by some random people in the Facebook chat. So I've got one more hand in me, guys, before I have to jet off and do another live stream. But if anyone has any questions or comments in the chat, feel free to pop them in. I will be back hopefully later in the night and can take this final table home. But we'll see. Hopefully can get a duo in the mix and have some fun with it. Some support for Ricky in the live chat. Shout out, Johnny. How you doing, mate? As we can see, Will Ciali's big head there at the bottom. Always a pleasure to see him, but his head's taken up too much of that screen at the moment, so someone needs to get him to move. So yeah, just another recap, guys. So first place is going to take home $16,610, which is pretty solid for a Sunday weekly here at PlayLive. Second will take home 5 figures as well, $10,300, and 14 people are going to make the money. And with the structure, obviously being a one-day event, I think this one's going to get in the money quite soon, so I wouldn't be shocked. But I am going to be leaving after this hand, so if anyone wants to stick around, feel free. I think that there's a lot of fun action plays on this table, and I think it won't bore you at all. So hopefully for me, man, my throat. Hopefully for me, Elvis can find a double. It's always fun to see him with chips as he likes to splash around. But I'm rooting for my main man, Jordan. Hopefully he can win this one and add another one to the Hendon mob. As Chris does wake up with pocket jacks in the big blind. So Elvis is jammed over Theo's open from under the gun. And with 25 big blinds, there's not really any other option than just going all in here. Hopefully Theo can call you with a hand that's worse, like 10s or 9s or something along those lines. And the only thing you don't really want to see is an ace. So Theo's going to pretty quickly fold this one, I would assume. And we'll see if Elvis can spike an ace to keep his tournament alive. Does find it straight in the window. So it's looking very likely that Elvis is going to find a double up here, and even a little bit more than a double up with dead money there, and he does. So unfortunate for Chris, there was a 13 big blind pot, which seems a little bit small, but in a turbo tournament, a one-day tournament, these small pots matter a lot. And as we've seen, a lot of these guys that are now chip leading were at 10 big blinds not long ago, and it comes around quick. So with 30 left, guys, there's 14 in the money. First place, $16,610. I'm going to leave you there. Hopefully you can enjoy the rest of the stream. Not sure if someone's going to come in quite soon or in the near future, but I'll be here hopefully a little bit later to take home the final table. And yeah, on that note, thanks guys. That was Jackson Young, and cheers. I'll see you soon.
Top of the table. Healer. C9 fold. C1 fold. C3 fold. C5 call. C6 fold. C7 Zero check. C5 check. C7 check. C8 bet, 12,000. C5 call. C7 call. C7 check. C8 check. C5 bet, 25,000. C7 fold. I don't know. C8 call. I got you. Sorry, Q. Trying to get my stack off. Seat 1 raise, 16,000. Seat 3 fold, seat 5 fold, seat 6 fold, seat 7 fold. Seat 8 fold. Seat 1 fold. Zero bet, 30,000. Seat 9 fold. Seat 8 check. C3 fold, C5 fold, C6 fold, C7 fold, C8 raise, 16,000. C9 call, stopping you again. C1 fold. C8 bet, 22,000. C9 call. C8 bet, 40,000. C9 raise, all in.
I'll watch it on the screen.
C5 fold. C6 fold. C7 raise, 15,000. C8 fold. C9 fold. C1 fold. Yep.
Always push it, one at a time. Can I see your stack? Yep.
Yeah, 10 seconds. 30 additional. C3 raise, all in. C7 fold. Just rescan your hand. Thanks. Is that good? Yeah, it's all good. Thanks, Rick. So small and you'll be big, and Arnie be big, mate. Yeah. So we've got new place seat 2, can't come in, and we've got new place seat 4. How much is it? Do you know how much is your set? 99. Oh, you got it. Oh, sweet, all good. Awesome, sweet, thank you. Yep, that sounds like it. Yep, that's C2. Yep. Yeah, so buttons in 1, small blinds in 3, big blinds in 4. So C2 has to wait. No. Big blind 2 C4. 3. C3 correct, yeah. C5 fold. Oh.
There was a mark.
Oh, the does, yeah. C6 raise, 16,000. C7 fold. C8 call. C9 re-raise, 65,000. Seat 1 raise, all in. Seat 3 fold. Seat 4 fold. Seat 6 fold. Seat 8 fold. Seat 9 call.
Cover?
Lucky.
Thank you.
70 odd. Yeah, he's 30. Yeah, how much?
Luck. Forward.
I lost seat 1, thanks. Yeah. Alright, so we lost seat 1, buttons in seat 3. You've played on this before, Nick, yeah? You know, just mark, just, yeah.
No, I haven't, but yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, all good. Yeah, if I tell you to rescan, just don't crack the shits at me.
So, I'm small now.
None of your big.
No, you weren't.
You were under the gun.
Definitely
You
You
folded.
had the big, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just small.
You folded.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can check the tape.
No, I remember now. Because I changed it. They changed me anyway.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Better win this game.
Seat 6 fold. Seat 7 raise, 16,000. Seat 8 fold. Seat 9 fold. Seat 2 fold. Take it away. Seat 3 fold. Seat 4 fold. Seat 5 call. C5 check. Seat 7 bet, 13,000. Seat 5 fold. How many 500s you got? Sell your fives too, Scott. Yeah.
Two Joker poker tonight. Oh wow, 42 runners. 42. So far.
I think they'll be glad they ran it.
So far.
It's got 42. And it took away probably from the system. Like if people were thinking about registering or on the fence, they probably went to register.
It's 250 bind, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Tonight is the bigger bind.
Seat 2 re-raise, 33,000. Seat 3 fold. Seat 4 fold. C5 call, C6 call. Check. C2 check. C5 check. C8 bet, 16,000. C2 fold. C5 call. C5 check. C8 bet all in. C5 call. Alright, turn him over guys. Triple nine.
I'd like that. Very nice, Elvis. Was that a 9 on the flop or on the river?
River. Down on the turn. Lost seat 18.
Queen, I'm alright.
You've got an email. You want to race off or? We don't need a race, I think we just got one.
I got one.
We just got past.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, it's just him, yeah. Yeah, correct. He does. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I believe so.
There's only one.
Just to get some yellows.
Yeah, and just one for Nick, that's it.
And then just like
Yeah, yeah.
just no competition.
That's it,
No
no.
split play.
So C2 on the race.
He got so much stuff. You don't even need it.
You can get rid of all those too. And blinds have gone up, so we're now
Gifted
5
you,
10
I-
10.
I gifted you 33 of them before, so.
Yeah. I was good, bro. I wanted to raise you, but I was scared. I don't know what you have. Maybe ace king. If you hit, I'm out. get?
I want to go heads up.
Yeah, or maybe I shall. That's, you're stuck traumatized me, bro. Yeah,
Nine
it's
fold.
big. Traumatized me.
10 if you want to call it.
20.
Seat 2 raise, 20,000. Seat 3 fold. Seat 4 fold. Seat 5 call.
Yeah, Queens and ace queen. Ace and block.
Seat 6 raise.
You're not commentating. I have my name now. Oh, have fun.
237. Seat 7 fold. 237 the best. Seat 2 fold.
Oh, yeah, they're very good. It's like brain juice, yeah? Just very good.
237.
237.
237, yeah. You got 10 seconds out.
Fold.
Seat 5 fold.
I don't want to gamble. I'm alright, bro. I don't want to gamble. I don't know what I have.
Nah, I'm yeah. 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 So seat 8 will be the big one.
I'll watch that hang in the live stream. I'll watch what you saw.
Alrighty, we are back. My name is Nicholas Mooney. I have commentated on here before, so looking forward to the stream. I'm here on my own. Jackson has just jumped away, so unsure if he'll be back, but we are here. Play live, 129 York Street for the 600 Sunday. So
Seat 6 fold.
I am in the booth tonight and hopefully here for the long run. I sadly busted this one earlier just before late reg closed, so you'll have to listen to me yap for a little bit, so appreciate everyone's patience while we
Yeah. Sure. Alright, can you rescan up?
been asked to turn up volume. Righty, hopefully that's a little bit better and you can hear me a little bit clearer. Who have we got in the chat here? John Snook, James.
32,000. Seat 9 folds.
Righty.
So you got that? Second stage 10.5.
Last week, but now, my farm needs the rain. So, yeah,
Alrighty.
it'll be wet all week.
Cool. Who have we got here? Nick Harrington, Ricky, Will Carter, Elvis, the Elvis, 31 big blinds, Winston, Play Live regular, Chris, Matt Wingham, Great Bloke, and Scott Wilson. Star-studded. Sadly, we lost my friend Jordan Bates earlier, getting in his Queens into Ace King. But we are here on 29 York Street. We got Nick. Got 52 big blinds under the gun, Ace Queen O. I think he does need to definitely raise here. Will be no limps. Ricky, 13 bigs. Yeah. Disciplined fold. I don't like to see a call. I think it's, yeah, it just doesn't really play too well, and you open yourself up to getting taken advantage of and people raising over and you burning chips. So makes the disciplined fold. Elvis here, hijack, 8-9. That 9-6 of diamonds, plays call off 29. Matt will be bidding this, I'm sure.
C8 fold.
Alrighty. So if you're in the chat and you're tuning in, once again, I appreciate it. And let me know where you're tuning in from. And hopefully I can make your Sunday night just a little bit more entertaining. Bit going on. What have we got here? Jordan needs to zip Theo if he wins this tourney. Oz Monday. Dealer yapping to the truck monkeys or telling the table what's happening? Question mark.
19,000.
Dean, he's in. He is in, and he's decided to log on to Facebook and
C9 fold.
jump into the chat. So thanks again, Dean. If you're around 129 York Street at all, Dean, come on down. I've got a seat right next to me. We can have a bit of a yap if you're down. If not, you probably have work tomorrow, doing something productive, and
40,000.
oh, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, back to the action. Sorry, I was just yapping.
C5 fold.
Like Nick has bet, Elvis has folded, and we are onto the next hand.
Thank you.
I wish ledge. That's very sad, but it is what it is, and hopefully you're having a great night, Dean, and you've tuned in to watch this 600. Sad Jordan couldn't go all the way, and Dinksky. Hopefully you've had a good weekend and all that. Just looking at the YouTube, got Mick Rinaldi, can bridge let me play. Not sure what that means. Ash is happy you folded. A7 is going to get a huge pot.
C5 fold. C6 fold.
Alrighty. Scott Wilson is Matt Wingham in 15 years. I mean, it's pretty accurate. Death by Car 98.
C7.
They do look similar. I don't know Scott that well. Over the last year or so, I've got to know Matt a little bit. So he's one of the good guys. Loves a laugh, and loves some cards as well. Alrighty, so back to the action. Cut off, guessing open. Off 13, 14. Ace Queen O. Scott defends small blind.
You'll wake up.
Block goes check. And Chris.
They can make this nice,
Right, Scott leads out on the queen turn. Chris is not going anywhere with the ace queen, especially with the spade blocker as well. Really good hand to have. But with the queen as the top pair, on a pretty dry run out, and looks like it's just one might just go check. Although Scott decides to check, maybe Chris can extract a little bit of value from the ace queen. Scott's going to turn his hand into a bluff, trying to fold out worse. It's not gonna work. Guess he block bets there. Just he does block some straight up possibilities, so you can see kind of his thought process there. But getting that price, ace queen, has to flick it in. So yeah, hope everyone is having a great Sunday. You do a good job commentary. Thank you so much, Mick. Appreciate you. Yeah, if you're around 129 York Street, I believe there is another. Let me just check there's the Sunday Slam Joker Jackpot at the the moment, I believe the jackpot is 14,000. For those at home, the Joker jackpot. So you play the tournament, payout structures are the same. However, you do have the opportunity to pick one card out of 20 cards. And if you pull the Joker, you win the jackpot. So that registration is still open. What is it now? Level 6. Level 5, sorry, and registration is open until level 6. So if you're around the corner, do have some time, even though we're on delay here. Come on down, 129 York Street. Alrighty, so it looks like Matt finds the ace-10 cut off,
Not even gonna put 10
and then
10K
the
in
clear
there.
bin from 7 do so.
Oh, we had the same hand. 7 days. Natural 9.
Ask Josh last name's Josh Abuddy. Just correcting you there, Mick. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, if you see him around, have a chat.
Stream doesn't lie.
Matt, definitely a good bloke. Just don't leave your bag unattended around him. I'm sure he would swiftly return that bag, as would I. Very, very interesting. Can we get some insight into PlayLive scandals for fan clarity? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Players bringing own extra chips. Yeah, back to action. Chris deciding to open the ace-10 of clubs, and Nick Harrington here bin with the 750. Ricky, I don't see defending small blind here. Alright, just getting some further clarity. That never happened at PlayLive. A player was actually banned for bringing extra chips to a different venue. That did not happen here at PlayLive. So, just to answer that one, Archie. Alright, so +2 opens, ace-10, Will Carter, all in, king-9, finds the king, needs the hit, is ace, no. And Will doubles up, and Chris goes down to 16 bigs. Bit unlucky there to get sucked out on, but that's the game. When you get so shallow in these kind of spots, you lose a lot of fold equity. That's why he decides to go in there with the king 9, blocking some of plus twos, I think it was, plus twos open, so thinks he can just take it down, and obviously has a hand he can call with, so finds the double and stays in contention. I believe they're playing for a 16,000 up top. Payouts just went up a moment ago, so alrighty. We get a comment on Gabe owner's sizing. I'm not sure what you mean there.
Oh, I can hear the whole room. Seat 6 fold, seat 7 fold.
Go back to the action here. Matt +2. Get that into the middle. He won't be opening that. Chris hijack. He has a pretty deep stack, so he can actually play these types of hands. Playing the Queen 3 though,
Seat 2 fold.
sort of in these kind of spots, you want to be sort of unblocking folds. And by that I mean like you want to be one hand of your opponents to have hands like the deuce, the three, all of that. So, but in this kind of spot, he's got the position and the stack, so he can kind of open up his range just a little bit. Righty, so I missed the flop action. It looks like Scott has arrived on the river with Queen High, and Elvis, you can see from the graphics, got the best hand. I don't see Elvis folding here. Like Scott might think he's got a little bit of showdown just with Queen High, but wow, he looks like Scott takes that one down. I'm not sure if the graphics are correct. On to the next hand. So if you guys have got any questions for me, my name is Nick Mooney. I've been a PlayLive regular for quite some time. I work full-time in the city, so I just enjoy playing poker in my downtime. Let us know where you're tuning in from. You would have seen on PlayLive's Facebook page that the Winter Championships has come up, and it's going to have around 2 million guaranteed. The schedule's changed a bunch, which is good from previous series. So really excited. So if you're around in June 4th to June 23rd, come on down to Play Live, 129 York Street. But appreciate you guys choosing this stream tonight, wherever you're tuning in from. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday evening. Get it, Mud. Not sure who Mud is. Let us know who you're cheering for on this final table. I sure am probably going for Ricky. I've known Ricky for a lot of many years actually. Through a bit of pub poker. Winston, got to know him a bunch over the years as well. Yeah, played with pretty much all of these people on the final table. We've got 22 left. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. But, Will Farter is the man. I'm not sure who that is. All right. Matt Wingham under the gun. King 7 of hearts. Scott 52 big blinds and ace 10. I mean, if he's opening the queen 3, then yes, the ace 10 is a punch. Or the min click, and he does. A big blind 10k makes it 20. Pretty standard so far. Chris with 12 big blinds is pretty interesting. I like, yeah, I mean, he decided to bin. He doesn't really have a stack that he can sort of make loose-ish calls with. So I don't mind the 8-9. You can defend, play some stop and go with 8-9. A lot of good boards that you can, where your hand's super under-repped as well. So a lot of favourable boards with 8-9-0. So, but as played, he finds a better spot. Renato, thanks for tuning in. Nick, you legend. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a great night. Good to see you the other night too. Alrighty, so Scott's again found a hand he can open with. Queen Jack O.
Suit 4 fold. Suit 5 fold.
Pretty snug, pretty standard so far. Winston, King 6-0. Now Matt, he's got a really good hand to defend here. I don't see any jams at all. It's just pure call. Jack 9 suited. Really nice, really nice hand to call with. See a flop. Obviously he's a little bit dominated, but he can flop some flushes and some straights, and he's flopped. Backdoor flush draw and up and down. So this is a spicy one with Scott flopping the top pair. He looks over at Scott a little bit. He's got some dubious intentions, but with his stack size, go one of two ways really. I mean, he can turn his hand into a bluff. I mean, he has got a lot of equity, so I reckon he's just gonna call though.
So you don't call.
And he does. And he's turned the card that he wanted, or at least one of, 3 of spades, bringing in the flush draw for him. Plays check. Now Scott might want to still be betting here to deny equity for some hands that Matt could definitely have, like this being one of them. Maybe hands like, it'd be interesting. Maybe charge some 10x as well. He might even bomb here. So into 105,
65,000.
he finds 65. So just over half potskis. And with, it's just really, really tough spot. I mean, like, if I were Matt, I don't really know what I would do. I mean, if I check jam, I mean, you're only gonna get called by a better hand, and with Scott having Queen Jack, I think he would find the call. So yeah, super interesting spot for Matt here. He might, so interesting, he might just elect to fold. What do you guys think? What would you guys do at home in this spot? You could run your equity, hope for a spade or a king. He's using 2 time banks now, and rightfully so. Oh yeah, this is in the blender for sure. Super tough spot, especially with Scott's sizing. Yeah, he's all in. I think I do like it. But yeah, Scott's not going to go anywhere, and we're going to, for my sake, Matt's a great guy, Scott's a great guy, but I would love it. Would love a spade. Love a spade or a king or an 8. Let's see what slides in. GG's in the chat for Matthew Wingham. Out in 22nd. Good game, brother.
Lost seat 8.
Alrighty, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Just be blind in seat 9.
Is there anywhere you can see how many bullets a player's fired? No, there isn't. So if you go onto the Play Live website, under live events, you can see the current tournaments that are running, as well as the structures for those tournaments. So it's a really good feature that Play Live do have. So it allows you to, if you're at home and you want to know how many runners a certain tournament has, or when registration's going to close, or what the blind levels are, you can jump onto PlayLive's website, go to live events, and you can see all that information. But as for people's the amount of bullets someone's fired, and by bullets, just for those at home, that's rebuys. So no, so that kind of information is not made public. So if you have some friends or a group chat, we could ask them in there. But yeah, sadly, there's no way public to know that. So perfect. All right, so chip counts here. Scott's still in a commanding lead. He's been applying pressure, using his stack to his advantage. And Ricky with 11 big blinds down the... How many we've got on this table? We've got 7 people. I'm sure the team will possibly fill the empty seats, just depending on how many players are on the other tables. Who have we got on the other table? We've got Lucas pitching cards, one of the great dealers here at Play Live. We've also got Frenchie there, I can see. We've got David C there. So still a few notables in the field. Now 7-8 of hearts is it's a fun hand to play off a sort of a deep stack. I've got myself in trouble a bunch of times opening even off 100 bigs with 7-8, and it's just one of those really, really cool hands that you can play in your hand super under rep, especially if you don't get 3-bet. Obviously, if you get 3-bet, you might be not getting the best price for a call, or even to call a 3 or a 4-bet. But those types of hands can be really good because the hand is super under-repped. But Snuggly, he finds the fold, which I really love, because he hasn't really got that stack to play with. He's, 17 bigs, I think, Will's got. So anyway, I'll stop yapping. We've got Nick Harrington here, big blind, ace-8 of diamonds. Turns the diamond. Diamond. Queen 9. Natural 9. Wow, Nick's found the flush on the river, and that would be not the nuts with the 7 pairing, but definitely one to bet, and bet for value. Alrighty, so 22 left. 600 buy-in, and the prize pool tonight, 55,000 Australian dollars. Absolutely massive. 16k for first, 10.3 for second, third gets 6,400, so on and so forth, as you can see rolling along the bottom of the screen there. So just got word from downstairs, it's going to be a small intermission happening soon. We're going to do a bit of a table redraw, so I'll probably put myself on mute for a bit, but please don't go anywhere. We could be in for a long night. With a bit of luck, Jackson will be joining us a bit later.
Yeah.
And who knows how long I'll stay. This really does depend. So 15 minutes, and we're going to have a 5-minute break, so it's not going to be too long. So you will have to just do whatever you're doing at home, whether you're watching it on your phone, or you're sitting on your couch watching on YouTube, or you're sitting at your computer. Just take a breather, move your legs a bit, get that oxygen pumping, and hopefully you'll join us when we restart the table redraw. Back to the action. Will has a hand that he can definitely open with, and he does decide to open. So the reason he's decided ace 10, I think the hand, I mean, although you may think it's a little bit light, your hand looks extremely nutted opening off that stack size. So to your opponents, you're repping a lot stronger. So you can actually get away with opening these types of hands. But sadly, he's opened into the button of Scott Wilson with pocket queens. Decided to pump it up to 5.4 big blinds.
You got 10 seconds.
Now, action's back on Will. I don't really see Will continuing here. There's a few reasons why.
2, 1, 30 seconds.
I mean, you'd think that Scott is only 3-betting hands that is ahead of Will's range, but obviously, like, Will thinks that he might think he still has the best hand, but with ace 10, I think you're almost always dominated. So it just, this type of hand just plays good as a
C4 raise.
raise fold, but in this case, he thinks Scott's getting a little bit of out of line. Puts in the ace 10. I mean, I don't hate it. You're blocking a lot of the value that he can 3-bet with. So we're gonna go to a flop, 3-4 jack, looking for the backdoor straight. Now one slides in there. We need a deuce or an ace. And that's GG's. GG's for Will Carter. Well done, sir. You played well. You fought hard. Sadly, we're now lost one there, and all the team will fill that seat pretty soon.
Enjoy.
If not, we'll wait for after the break.
I lost C4, Jose.
Looks like we're getting a dealer change. A much needed rest after pitching cards for so long. And Will says blunder. I love it and I hate it. One of those things. You do block some of Scott's 3-bets. Yeah, it's interesting. You just hope that Scott's getting out of line. In case he wasn't, he has a hand. The queen, the mamacita. But Winston here, he's been pretty quiet tonight. Hasn't really had the hands to make any plays with. Queen 8 is definitely not one that he can open off his stack. He wants to preserve as much as possible. And we're getting down to it as well with 20 left, 14 to pay. Minimum cash is $900 for a 600 buy-in. So, wow, and Scott's picked up 2 jacks, the jiggities, as Brad Irwin would explain this hand, the pocket jiggities, the JJ. Elvis here in the big blind with 10-8-0 finds the bin. And yeah, people are going to be playing a lot snugger, especially as we near closer to the cash. Nick's decided to 3-bet the ace-6-0, which, to be honest, I don't hate this one either, because look, Scott's been opening a bunch. He's been opening Queen 3, but also he's been getting some premiums as well. So he was hoping that open from Scott was a little bit light, and he was getting a little bit out of line. And he has the ace-6. He has a hand that blocks some of Scott's opens. So, I mean, taking down that pot, it's worth. It's worth the big blind ante, 4 bigs. Yeah, it's a pretty big takedown if you can just 3-bet that ace-6 and then win the pot. Yeah, you sort of increase your stack by 5-6 bigs. So, but as played, finds a 3, gets 4-bet from jacks. And we move on to the next hand. We've got Winston in the big blind now. Hopefully he has a hand that he can defend with, so we can get some hand histories from Winston. Just grabbing a little hydration here. In the long haul, the voice is getting a little bit croaky. Luckily I'm not sick, which is great. Okie dokie. It looks like Winston has folded his big blind following Elvis's small blind call with 4 deuce, diamond, diamond off his 12 bigs. Now Scott's probably just gonna put a little bet out here for value, deny some. Yeah, he's bet. Yeah, he's bet all in for Elvis. Actually just sending a message out to my friends, letting them know I'm on the stream tonight, and hopefully to increase some viewership. So if you're sitting at home and you're not doing much and you feel like advertising the stream, feel free to drop it on your socials. We appreciate it here down at 129 York Street to get that algorithm pumping. Alrighty, so we have Nick. He has a lovely stack that he can open 4s off. Especially hijack, late position. Chris defending King 5 suited off sort of the 9 big blind kind of vicinity. And again, like this, you might think, oh, what's Chris doing in the hand with King 5? I mean, one, this hand can go super under-repped. Like, he's got his spades. He can flop some straight draws. There's a lot of hands that he can make. He can make some better hands fold, which is nice.
C2 bets 17.
Be interesting to see what Chris does here. Yeah, it's just gonna bin that one. Yeah, you can flop some 5s, you can flop spade draws, and you can just run your equity right there and then. And sometimes you can just print a lot of chips just by defending those types of hands. But as played, gets a C-bet and has to fold, even though he flops the backdoor flush draw, some backdoor straight opportunities as well. Has to let that one go, preserve his stack, and maybe last till the min cash. Ricky here hasn't really had much going for him. He's had to let go a bunch of hands. His stack's dwindling just a little bit. But yeah, for those at home that didn't tune in from the beginning, I did play this event. Busted 5s into King Queen. Pretty much turned dead, sadly. But as the game goes, it is what it is. But yeah, I'll let these lovely people continue. continue playing, and someone taking home 16,000. Now Winston actually has a really good hand here. Ace King. As people would say, it's a drawing hand. But the good thing about Ace King is you block aces, you block kings, you block some other sort of hands that your opponent can 3-bet with. And so a lot of people like to go broke on this hand, especially on those aggressive tables. Looks like we're having some graphic issues. We might be ending the stream momentarily. Let me just get confirmation. But yeah, we'll definitely be back, so please don't go anywhere. Please do not go anywhere. We're just going to do a quick restart of the stream. Hopefully you guys, oh no, we're still restarting, so you probably can't hear me. It looks like the action is back. We're back in a big way because there is, I think, 20 left here at Play Live. Just getting the graphics up as well, I think. There's just a bit of a delay after the restart there. So hold on just a little bit. We'll get those up again so we can see what the flop is, what players have as well. So Winston looks like he is tanking, or he's C-bet. He's possibly been raised. Don't know with what. We just wait for camera to adjust there. Probably not. Maybe he likes it. Oh, he's all in. He is almost, yeah, pretty much all in, leaving a couple behind. Getting the count. Getting the count. Looks like 50, 75. There we go. Looks like he got raised and then he's just jammed it into Scott's re-raise. It looks like we are getting things adjusted downstairs. Frisky 4 deuce. I think we're talking about Elvis's defend there. Yeah, definitely frisky. But the great thing about poker is you can play any two in any position that you like. And I mean, sometimes you definitely can flop your opponent dead or maybe flop a flush draw. But the problem with those hands is you can easily be dominated by... You might hope for a flush, but then someone else might just have a bigger flush. And those are the types of situations that you can get yourself in when you play those types of hands. Looks like we've seen all in from Ricky under the gun, ace-9, a really good hand to do this with because he's getting so short. He can't really wait any longer for a better hand. He's, you know, he's got over half of his stack in the next hand when he's got the big blind ante. So he has to take a decent ace or a suited king with ace 9 into 7s. He's got some outs here to stay alive. Needs a deuce or an ace or a 9, doesn't find it, and the king of diamonds falls on that river, and we do lose Ricky. GG's in the chat for Ricky. Great guy. Had a lot of hands with him. It looks like we're going to be doing a redraw now, so please don't go anywhere. Take a short break, and hopefully we shall see you all soon, and looking forward to the next bit of the stream. Thanks, guys.
75. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 75.
We covered it.
77.
Last one. Jose.
for some more fun. Thanks again for sticking around. Hope you guys enjoyed the little break that we had. We are back.
Getting lucky here.
And number 40-ish of the FT, not the FT, sorry, of this feature table. Just getting things reset so we can get back underway and cards will soon be pitched. But we've had some new players just join this feature. We're just getting the graphics up there for you so you can see some stack sizes and also the new players on the table. Got my friend David, he's just joined as well. From when I was downstairs earlier, looked like he had a pile of chips. So this is going to be a fun last two-ish tables, possibly. Maybe 3. Just need to get the numbers from downstairs.
Chips there, mate.
Yeah, shout out to the team downstairs, doing everything, doing the greatest job, getting the graphics to you. There's a lot involved in getting this stream underway. They're fed information from the dealer. Obviously, every chip, every position on the table has a scanner, a card scanner. So these cards, they're not cheap. So they have they can obviously, the table can read the cards, and that's relaying the information to you on the stream. So, and then it's up to the dealer to shout out the action. She's got a headset on to pass on the information to the guys at the computer, and then they put in the graphics, what the flop is, what the sizing is on the flop, turn and river. So lots goes into making this stream happen. Of course, myself and the commentators that have come on the stream in the past. I do this for the love of the game, so really enjoy jumping on and helping the guys out. We've got David and Benjamin French, a new player to this table, but not a stranger to the poker streets in Melbourne. I believe he had a very deep run in the another series that's gone on, so well done to him. But yeah, it looks like the C-bet takes it down. David getting comfortable, taking off his jumper. It's getting a little bit hot, obviously. But he's strapping in. He is ready to battle. Got some deep stacks here, so there will be fireworks, I'm sure. So just going across the top of the screen, guys. So we got Linda, who's not a stranger either. Linda Curry, 42 bigs. Nick, who was on the previous table, has got 53. David, 54. Ben, 50. So got some really, really deep stacks. Elvis, 10 bigs. Winston, 27. Chris, 15. Excuse me. And Jim and Scott. So it looks like we're going to have some fun for sure. So it looks like Jim's off the 48 bigs decided to open limp the King 9. I'd prefer a raise. I mean, you can limp and see some flops.
Sorry?
But you do really want to sort of deny equity to hands like 8 deuce, which now, like, Ben now gets to see a flop for free with 8 deuce, and there's just so much you gain so much advantage by opening hands in sort of mid to early positions, because I don't see Ben defending 8 deuce. But as played, plays limp,
Big blind deuce.
and looks like missed the action. He's bet his 2 pair. 10-10 deuce, I believe. And he has 8 deuce. Bets out there. See Andrew Peng in the background there. Great bloke. Theo there as well. So yeah, some well-known faces have come down, play live streets tonight. And today actually. Play the 600.
Feels like they got the 8 on.
Try their luck. Lost boat of a boat today on the river with a 3-outer. I know you the feels, man. That sucks. But that's the game. That's definitely happened to me a bunch as well, especially in the higher buy-ins. Definitely feels bad. But in this game, it's always on to the next. Mindset is everything. And I know over the years I've been working very hard on focusing more on things that are in my control rather than out of my control. So that's, if I was to give one tip for you guys at home, is focus on what you can control and not what you can't. I know it's hard. We're obviously playing a game. We're playing a game for real money, so that can also be quite hard. But yeah, do your best to focus on your sizing, playing your position, all of that. It all comes into play. So, alrighty. Go Chris Armour. Thanks for jumping into the chat. Houdini Smith 5613. We appreciate it. Yes, Chris. Chris is he battling? Yes, he's still battling 15 big blinds. He's still in contention. So good luck to him. Good luck to the rest of the players. I mean, I'm good friends with a few people on this stream here. Ben French, she was on my table a bunch at the start of the 600 Sunday. Winston, of course. And David. Here we go. We got Linda. Just waiting for the graphics to catch up here. Unsure what Linda has. But has decided to open. A playing hand, 42, I think, if graphics are correct. David here. I can't see. Okay. Just had word there was some graphics that are just being fixed up a little bit, but that is all good. They're gonna get fixed up after this hand, so our apologies. Alrighty, so while we get the graphics up once again, which I'm sure they'll be up after this hand. Just a reminder once again, we've got the Play Live Winter Championships coming up June 4th till June 23rd. 2 million guaranteed. Now, it looks like there's been some improvements to the structure for the opening event. There's been a slight increase in the buy-in as well. So, and that has a massive guarantee of 200,000. So that's massive, all the way to a mini main, which is now 750, which it used to be 600. So a little bit more value there. They've got a mammoth, which is 3,000, and the main event, which is $1,500. But yeah, some very great, some really well structured tournaments. That a lot goes into the structures here at Play Live to make it really good tournament to play for the price point. But yeah, once still waiting on the graphics here, so appreciate your patience. But yeah, I believe yeah, the binds are going to range from about 400, sorry, up to I think 3,000 is their biggest. Oh no, they're running a 5k high roller, and some mixed game stuff as well. So looks like they've got a PLO, pot limit Omaha, split mix 9 game, draw Maha. I mean these games go over my head. I'll stick to 2 cards. Still having some issues downstairs, so I'll just keep going through this schedule for the